Hey, welcome back to Dirtbag Baseball Talk, everybody. Great to have you here as always. And I say it every week, but again, another real special episode that I've got coming for you is on this one, and it's a true dirtbag story in the truest sense of the word. And as we go through it, it's going to make sense to you. So my guest for this episode is Thomas Greely, and I got to meet him over here in France. Young kid out of California. And playing for a competitive team. And I happened to notice him play against us. He was a backstop catcher, and guy played both ends of the doubleheader, 9 innings, 18 innings through the day. And it was a hot day too. It wasn't easy to get through. And he was a dirtbag in my mind, every sense of the word. I wanted to talk with this young man and if nothing else, introduce myself and say what a pleasure it was to watch him play. So little did I know the story that was going to evolve from it. So we're going to dive into it on this episode, and I'm super excited because he's back American side right now. And Thomas, great to have you with us, man. Thanks for hopping on with me, brother.
Yeah, man, great to be here.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So he's playing with a team called Sonar, the Templiers, in the France Division I League over here. You're a California kid. How did that venture kind of come to be?
That's kind of a crazy story, actually. So, I went to Long Beach State for 20 and 21. So it was the COVID year, and then the year after, didn't really get a whole lot of opportunities after that. And it was actually June 12th when I had an independent ball opportunity that ended up falling through, and there were some things that happened that just didn't end up playing. And on that day, I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play competitive baseball again. It was a real tough place to be. I've played this game since I was 4 years old. So I went back home, got a job and started working, and basically just hit the gym like a normal, regular, everyday guy instead of really training for baseball. And so while I was working at Chili's, actually, and there's a gentleman came in, and about halfway through his meal, he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, are you Thomas Greely by chance?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I am. I'm sorry, do I know you from somewhere? I don't recognize you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so and so from this college." He goes, "We played against you when you were in junior college." And I was like, "Oh yeah, great." And he's like, "Yeah, man, you tore us up." I was like, appreciate that. But just conversation starts going, and with baseball as our kind of common ground there, he's asking, "You in shape? You still playing? What's the plan for you?" And I told him that didn't really have one. He goes, "All right, well, if you wouldn't mind," he goes, "I can pass on your information to a guy I know who specializes in sending players overseas. It's a company called Baseball Jobs Overseas. Actually, it's that here." And so I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So he got me in touch, and probably within about 2 weeks, I went from not knowing if I was playing baseball ever again to signing a contract to play in France.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable how it works out and stuff like that. And back to Thomas's original thing when he says about Long Beach, for anybody that doesn't know it, they're the Long Beach State Dirtbags. That's the nickname. That's what they're known for and stuff like that. And, we've had Coach Brian Peters on, or associate head coach Brian Peters on with us before. And so that was it. We're talking after the game. I go up, I introduce myself, just like you were saying this guy does or whatever. And small world. Hey, I run a business called Dirtbag Baseball Nation. No kidding. I play for the Long Beach State Dirtbags. 45 minutes later, we're talking and stuff like that. But you said a few interesting things, and this is why I respect you so much, Thomas, because you're how old are you for starters?
I am 24.
24 years old. So you're still young. And what really resounded to me outside of your playing ability against us and the dirtbag mentality before I even knew you were a dirtbag was, after speaking with you, was how mature you are and beyond your years. And what I mean by that, the fact that you were able to be as open as you were about your baseball journey up to that point. Mm-hmm. And so, not easy to go through the Division I, the high level that everybody dreams about, the most American kids, the kids around the world, wherever you are. That wasn't an easy journey for you in its own right.
Right. Yeah, it was. That was definitely tough as well.
Yeah, challenging, right? You know,
Mhm.
you're like everybody else. You wanted to play or whatever, and that, and all of a sudden, everybody's a big boy, so to speak.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're the biggest boy or whatever, and that, but for whatever reason, however the coaches scope on it and stuff like that, that was it. So, but it's an important part of this story of yours. That's amazing to me. So, limited playing time with the Long Beach State Dirtbags in Division One.
Mhm.
Almost out of it, making you're at the tipping point in life. Do I stay with this baseball thing that I live and die and breathe every day or whatever and that? Do I work out and work at Chili's the rest of my life? Not that it got that far, but all of a sudden now you're in France. So take us through that part of the journey. You arrive in France in 2022. What about April?
Yeah, April 1st, actually.
April 1st. Okay. So you're playing, you get in what, a dozen games roughly into the season. All of a sudden, there's an international group here through Baseball Job Overseas. How did that
Mhm.
come to be?
So they sent out, well, so first of all, baseball jobs overseas. Obviously they're in this tournament, they enter this tournament to win and compete and stuff. But one of the other main points that they try to hit is let's get these guys together that have never met and let's connect them through baseball, get them in this tournament. Let's have an amazing time for a week. And so they kind of send out just this mass email to all their European guys. They say, hey, we got so many spots on this team. You can play the full week or half the week and, go have a good time, play some good baseball. So I signed up for that, got hooked up and everything, ordered the jerseys and the uniforms and all that fun stuff. And then I get to Prague and, like I said, I've never met anybody on this team yet. The coaches included, the guys that run the program and stuff. And, I look at our pool and who we're playing, and in our pool, we have the Spanish national team and the Czech national team.
Okay.
It was, two of the better teams in this tournament. And it was a wild week. Honestly, it was amazing. It was probably one of the best weeks of baseball of my life because it was a group of guys that got together not knowing each other, immediately clicked. We had a theme song within 8 hours of knowing each other. And, it it actually got to the point where we were playing the Spanish national team and the media team up in the booth actually started playing that song in between innings while we were walking out and warming up and stuff. It was a great time out there. Met
Man,
some really great guys, played some baseball, saw some good competition, and took a tour of the city and went out partying with the guys. It was an amazing time.
yeah, for sure. And Prague's a beautiful city in its own right. Just that part of the trip alone is worth it. But you're playing baseball, so your season in your mind is playing for Sonar, which Dirtbags is just outside of 30 minutes roughly or whatever, and that outside of Paris. Beautiful city. First time over here, I assume.
Yeah.
So you're loving life. You go to Prague. At this point in time, do you have any understanding that there might be scouts or higher ups in the baseball world watching?
Not really. So, obviously when you play against, a country's national team, you expect at least somebody to be in the stands just to kind of keep an eye, whether they're scouting for players or, scouting just to get a game plan when they have to play them. But even then with the Spanish team and the Czech team, I wouldn't have expected it to be anybody from the States. I would expect it to be, maybe like a French national team guy or somebody from Europe that would actually play them in qualifiers and stuff like that.
Sure, sure. And it's crazy where we're going with this story and the fact that almost 2.5 weeks or whatever it was, you and I were talking at our Challenge to France events, and you were asking me about some of your post-playing career ideas, and we were talking scouting. Of all
Yeah.
things, we're talking scouting. I want to get in the scouting game. You just tell me.
Yeah.
So, what happens post Prague Baseball Week?
So I get back to Sonart and just business as usual, go to practice and the next day, and
You're getting
all
ready to
that.
play us.
Yeah, getting ready to play you guys actually. And this part actually happened very, very fast. So I remember it was a Thursday night for us in France. So it was a Thursday night, and I get a call. Hey, this is so and so from San Diego Padres. Let's give me a call when you get this. So as soon as I finish practice, I'm looking at my phone. I get this voicemail, and I call him back immediately. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Basically, he tells me they have an open spot, and if I wanted it, he'll throw my name out there and I'll get it in the mix at least. And I was like, well, that's a stupid question. Of course I want this. This is everybody's dream. So yeah, no, I told him absolutely. Let's get some wheels moving. And then he calls me back on Friday night and says, hey, talk to the guys that make the decisions. Everybody's on board. It's yours. So let's get this going, because we got you on a flight home on Sunday. I was like, it's Friday night. So I go home Saturday. I spend all day packing up everything that I had in France, packing up my whole life. And I was on a plane. It was about like 9 a.m. on Sunday. So it happened from Thursday to Sunday. I was preparing to play you guys in France, and then by Sunday night, I was back home in the States.
And yeah, and I show up in Sonora or whatever, and all excited with our team or whatever. Hey, where's Greely, man? I got to see him, give him a big hug. And your buddy, your battery mate, if you will, or whatever, Shane Priest over here, and he's like, he left literally this morning. Left. What do you mean? I'm thinking one way. I'm thinking, okay, Thomas has had enough of it. He's out of here. He's done. Little do I know, he's going to tell me that you're signed by the San Diego Padres. That's unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. What's going through your head?
I mean, at that point, I was my brain was in shambles. Like everything happened so fast. I was full panic mode trying to get everything in there. Like I had dirty clothes mixed in with the clean clothes. Didn't have time to do the laundry when I was packing. Like it was everything was just moving so fast that I didn't really have time to process it until I got home. So the plan was to get home to California on Sunday, and then I would end up in Texas by like Tuesday or Wednesday. I had like 2 days to kind of sit down and decompress and actually understand what was going on. And at that point, it hit me, and like my dad was sitting there on the couch next to me. I was like, dude, like this is happening. And, this is something that to me especially, but my entire family has been wanting and working towards and sacrificing for since I was 4 years old. So like it was kind of an emotional moment when I actually sat there and let it hit me that that's what was happening.
I can only imagine, for sure, and stuff like that. And just so you understand, Dirtbags, that's not a short flight we're talking about. That's 6 hours to the East Coast and another 3 hours all the way out to California and stuff. So that's a long flight for this young man to be sitting there all by himself, just going, I can only imagine it. What's happening right now?
Yeah.
So this is July 3rd. What have you been doing since July 3rd? Where's the process and the journey taking you now, Thomas?
Yeah. So once I got home to California, talking to the Padres, the guys that are involved with the club, they send me over the contract. I sign it. I send it back. Everybody that needs to sign it signs it, and then they send it to the commissioner's office. And the commissioner's office actually said no, that it was not approved. And the reason for that was there's a kind of a small rule where, because I still had a year of college eligibility, which would have been like my 6th year, my COVID year. Even though I didn't use it, because I went back to school to finish my degree. So I went back to school to get my degree and had a year of eligibility. And even though I didn't use it, that makes me ineligible to sign until after the draft, which just ended. So, hopefully everything is still kind of intact and I still end up with the Padres, but obviously nothing in this world is guaranteed. So they actually helped me get hooked up with an independent league team in the American Association in Gary, Indiana, called the Gary South Shore Railcats. And the idea from the Padres was that we just need to get you on a field. We can't let you just sit there and, do nothing and get fat for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it may be. So they're like, we're gonna help you find a team. So I get out here, and I'm playing out here. So this has also been a great experience already. Just a couple weeks into it, and we've gone to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and currently we're in Cleburne, Texas. We're on the road, and just with the night games, got some time to set aside in the morning for the interview here. But it's been great so far. Met a lot of good guys, learned a lot. This league specifically is a partner league with Major League Baseball. So a lot of the guys in this league are either former affiliated guys, so they've played minor leagues. A lot of the guys are trying to work towards that. I don't think there's anybody, at least on my team, that's okay with just finishing their career here. They're either trying to get back to affiliated ball, or they're trying to get there in the first place. Such as myself, I haven't played there yet, so I'm just trying to get there. But
so when
it creates a pretty good, competitive environment, as far as almost like a college environment, where it's like, I'm not done here. Like, I got another level to get to. So it's a lot of fun playing in that type of an environment. Actually, back to the whole affiliated thing, like the catcher for Cleburne, Texas, is actually Hector Sanchez, who played 8-10 years in the bigs, caught a no-hitter from Tim Lincecum, like that. Those are the guys that I'm playing against, so it feels like affiliated ball.
Fantastic. It's a big league for sure and stuff like that. And and you mentioned briefly that San Diego, the vision was to go to Texas. So Dirtbags, what he's talking about there, we're not talking about low A, high A, we're talking about shipping them right to double A. Yeah, that's big, dude. Again, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I'm sitting there thinking France, July 3rd, 2nd, and August 2nd, 3rd, God willing, or whatever for you, brother, double A possibly, or whatever. And that, that's real. That is real. So do you even, I know it's a whirlwind because you're playing every night anyways, or whatever, well, more or less every night or whatever. And do you have the opportunity to be able to watch video of the San Diego pitchers that are with the double A, or is it just so consumed right now with Gary that you're just trying to work on, it's in the back of your mind that you have to take that part of the game now, but you're just trying to work on it with your pitchers with Gary?
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself. With this extra time, and me playing here, obviously they have some more time to see what I can do at, a legitimate professional level, and, kind of also explore their options if they have other ones. So I'm trying not to take anything for granted and not, say, oh, this thing is a guaranteed thing. I'm just here to bide my time and wait. Like, I still have the mentality of I have to earn this. So because of that, I kind of just like to try to focus in the present moment or the present series. So most of the video I'm watching is either of our guys or of the guys we're about to play. We had a 15-hour bus ride from Indiana to Texas the other day, and the time that I wasn't sleeping, I was watching the team that we're playing against, trying to figure out, maybe some hitches and swings, maybe some preferences, and trying to learn how to call a game against them and stuff. So haven't done too much studying as far as the San Diego organization. Just my time has been mostly spent in the present moment.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess that's all you can do really at the end of the day. I mean, especially with the trade deadline going on right now, and, the rumor mill going with their right in on the Soto trade, and not that affects their whole organization by any stretch of the means. They've got people worried about where players are moving and stuff like that. It's big organization, great organization, as they all are, and stuff like that. So for sure. I mean, but Dirtbags, I hope you got the feel from Thomas of who he is and what he is. And even hearing him talk right there, right? Those are the differences right there of a truly, in my mind, a truly pro player and a a pro player that's just paid type of thing. I'm trying to word it delicately, or not, but it's just goes to show you that, you know, there's millions that love the game the same as you do, the same as I do, Thomas, or whatever. And that, like you said, there's no guarantee that this is ever going to happen. But boy, I'll tell you what, to go from where you were less than a month ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago, thinking about having a great baseball overseas experience, extension of the baseball journey of your life, to some great stories with your grandkids down the road or whatever, and that, to actually being on the doorstep of being in real pro affiliated baseball. That's unbelievable, man.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you, so impressed with you, even though we're so early in our stages of knowing each other or whatever and that, but it's just a great story. And I needed to have you on because it gravitates to everything that I preach to players, whether I'm over here in France, back home in Canada, down in the States, it doesn't matter where I am. This game is unbelievable. It
Yeah,
gives
it
you
is.
highs
It
and
really
lows,
is.
right?
Yeah, and kind of along with the story, anybody, back home, I kind of help out around some local facilities and talk to the kids and work with the kids and stuff. And one thing I always say is, it sounds cliche, but don't give up. My route has by no means been, the ideal route. When you're in high school, you're like, all right, I'm going to Division I, I'm gonna get drafted, I'm gonna be in minors for a couple years, I'm gonna be in the bigs. And like, yeah, sounds great, but then when reality hits, and in my specific situation, I didn't handle myself properly in the classroom in high school, so I had to go the junior college route. So I go junior college, then to a 4-year school, so Delta College in Stockton, Long Beach State. After that, like I had said earlier, almost gave up. And then when the opportunity presented itself, jumped right on top of it. Now I'm playing in Europe. Now I come over here and I'm playing independent ball. There's a lot of extra steps in there that, it's hard to plan for, and you don't necessarily want to plan, but life gives you lemons, right? You got to make the best of it. You got to, just keep the head down and do what you can do right now. And hopefully in the end, everything will all work out.
Yeah, even hearing you say and taking ownership of your high school years and just not doing the books. I mean, hey, we're all there with you, man. You're not alone. And Dirtbags out there, it. That's easy for us all to preach it or whatever, but we're not just trying to preach the importance of grades just for the sake of doing that because everybody does it. It's because I've lived it. Thomas just admitted to living the same thing. Hey, it cost him. Did it cost him everything? No, but we don't know what it didn't cost you either.
Right. It could have been a lot easier of a route.
Yeah, for sure. So those are just great ownerships things. And so I know your time is super, super busy, Thomas, but if a young man wanted to reach out to you or whatever and inquire, get some, any vision or any goals or whatever from you, is there a way they could get in touch with you?
Yeah.
On Instagram or?
Yeah, I am on Instagram. My handle, I believe, is the TG5. So that's THETG5. All one word, no underscores, anything like that. I believe my Twitter is the same. Don't really use that one too much. So Instagram would probably be the best way to reach me. Yeah, give me a follow, send me a message, anything you guys need. I'm an open book, man, if you haven't been able to tell already.
Yeah, he really is. Every conversation I've had with him is wow. That's why we're sitting here right now. It's as simple as that. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, Dirtbags, not what you want to hear sometimes. And this is one of them. This is one amazing story that lets you know if you dream, nobody's allowed to take your dream away from you. That's all I can say on that. Not me, not Thomas, not anybody. So dream as big as you can. Just understand what it takes to reach your goal within the dreams you've set. That you can reach out to people and get help with. So Thomas, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you as a person. I appreciate you as a dirtbag. And I can't wait to follow the rest of this journey and see where it leads you, man. I really can't. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Man,
yep.
I appreciate it.
No, you got my phone number and my email, let me know anything else you need.
I will. I will definitely, man. You're part of the nation now, man. I love having it, and welcome aboard. And hey, go out there tonight and rack up a few hits and go get yourself a W.
Yes, sir.
All right. There you have it, Dirtbags. Hey, another great story. Like I said, hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be back here with another one very soon. So until that time, you know what time it is, Dirtbags. It's time to get up, get after it, and get dirty.